Namaste. Welcome to this little short practice just for releasing the upper body. In fact, it's not really a practice per se, it's just one posture, but it's something that you can do every day or as often as required to help release some of the tension from across the upper back and also promote a little bit of space across the front of the body, especially in the chest and the fronts of the shoulders where we often get tight. So you can do this practice over a rolled up blanket if you don't happen to have a bolster, or indeed anything that would lift you up. So if you've got a nice firm pillow, you can actually fold that a little bit into along its length, and that will give you the required lift to have the effect. And the other thing that you might have, we have tons of equipment here, but the other thing you might have is a foam roller, a very long one like they use in Pilates. And that's what my other half uses when he's trying to do this. He prefers that to the bolster. Whatever you're using, you're going to put it along the length of your spine. So if you're using a foam roller, you'll actually sit on it and lie across it. But for a blanket or a bolster, you're going to place yourself down on the mat just in front and bring that bolster or support right up against your tailbone. So you want it to be as close to you as it's possible to get. Now here we're going to put our feet on the floor and just recline over whatever's behind us. And for many people, this will be quite comfortable, or it might feel a little awkward initially, but you'll settle into it. But for some people, especially if you are more rounded in the upper body, you will find that uncomfortable because it's just a little bit too open in the front of the body at the moment. So if that's the case, then placing a block or something to lift your support at the head end. And that won't work on a foam roller, but it will work on a rolled blanket or a bolster. I would say that bolsters are maybe just ever so slightly more intense than blankets in terms of the effect that they have. But the same thing, a block underneath the head end or some books, something that's nice and firm that will lift the support towards your head so that as you recline over, you aren't feeling overstretched or over-opened in the chest area. And if you're looking to do a more restorative pose, this will indeed be a little bit more restorative than the slightly more intense, flatter pose. When you come into this position, just allowing yourself a moment to let the spine find its new shape. So the feet on the floor here will allow your pelvis just a little bit more movement and the opportunity to soften. And you can rest your arms out to the side. If you have really short arms and you feel that they're suspended in space, then maybe a couple of pillows or blocks underneath the forearms and backs of the wrists will help, backs of the hands. When you've been here for a few moments, you can explore extending your legs. And it might be that that makes this too intense on the low back, or it might be that that is a more comfortable position. Your legs can really rest. Your pelvis is heavy, the back of the pelvis finding support from the bolster or the blankets behind you. And if it feels super comfortable to do it like this, you might want to explore bringing the soles of the feet together, resting the knees out to the side. You can see that my knees are floating here in space. And if that's the case for you, then you want to hold this position with support underneath the thighs, maybe cushions, pillows, or again, blocks. So I'm not going to hold that position because that for me is not so comfortable. I'm going to hold this position. And then focusing on that sense of releasing into your support. So letting go of the effort to hold yourself against gravity, surrendering to gravity. Let the sides of the body mold themselves around your support, falling towards the floor. Feel that sense of space across the front of the body. try to have that heavy softness wherever you can, softening your forehead, your jaw, the effort in the back of the neck. And just breathing deeply. As you breathe, maybe finding that space in the front of the body where the body can move a little bit more as you breathe. And noticing also the back of the rib cage pressing into the bolster or the support as you breathe. There's no right or wrong here with the breath. If your breath falls in a faster rhythm, that's okay. Just be aware of it. If it feels comfortable to slow the breath and you can do that without strain, then you'll find that this posture has the effect of gently lifting your energy. You get that sense of being able to let go of some of your tension, get a little boost to your spirits, but it's not an overwhelming surge of energy. And then practicing this posture for 3 to 5 minutes if you're familiar with it, 1 to 2 minutes if you're new to it. Softening your features, softening the body, softening the breath. If at any stage this becomes uncomfortable or awkward, or you begin to feel a creeping sense of discomfort, pain, then releasing out. Just taking a moment in a more comfortable spot before going back to your day. But if you're happy to continue holding, we're going to hold for another 5 deep breaths. If it helps, you can sigh the breath out through the mouth once or twice, just to help soften the features of the face and the chest a little bit more. At the end of your next exhalation, if you feel ready to move, then that's great. If you want to stay for a little longer, of course, please do. If your legs are knees out to the side, then just gently ease the knees towards each other. Use your hands to help. If your legs are long, just giving them a little shake and then bending the knees in so your feet end up on the floor with the knees bent. And if you've remained that way throughout the practice, that's okay too. And then to release, you're gently going to firm the belly muscles and just roll to one side. And as you do, you might be able to push that support out from underneath you. It's a little bit awkward of a dismount, but you'll manage. And then rolling onto your back. For some people, lying on the back like this, constructive rest position, isn't so very comfortable. So if you need to find a more comfortable position, of course, do so. Taking a few moments in constructive rest to allow the spine to find a more neutral shape again, because we've done that gentle back bend and held it for some time. And you can even maybe roll your head from side to side. Take a few deep breaths and sigh out through the mouth. Notice the effect of your practice where you feel the energy energy in the body, the physical effect, the sensation in the body. And then when you're ready, you can again roll to one side and make your way up into sitting or standing if you prefer. And taking a moment, either sitting or standing, just again in a more neutral spot to allow your body to assimilate the information you've given it, to respond to the effect of that posture. So this is a supported fish Matsyasana. In Yin Yoga, it's called the Yin Fish, of course. And it can be done in lots of different ways. We've done it today with a support along the whole length of the spine. Of course, there are variations where you just put blocks underneath the body, a little bit more intense. And this posture is a great do everyday posture to affect real change to the habitual posture that your body forms. So if you sit at a desk, if you work in front of the body where your upper back is rounded, or perhaps your chin falls forward, if you just like spending lots of time on your phone, it's just as good for kids as it is for adults. So perfectly safe to share with the whole family. And if you have any questions, of course, just let me know. But give it a go for a week and see if you can feel the difference in the way that you breathe and hold yourself, and in the way that it just gently lifts your spirits as well. Thank you for joining me for a supported fish pose, and namaste. Wish you the very best in the rest of your day.